So, hello. Looks like nobody's actually active on a stream right now, which is a little bit of a sad story because, in fact, I kind of am a little bit bad at scheduling, and I accidentally entered the time of the stream as 4 p.m. yesterday, which is when the videos would usually be uploaded. I forgot that streams don't usually take place at that time. I fix it later, but apparently enough people don't actually come here to matter. So I'm just going to run through my script, and hopefully, if somebody pops in the chat, I will be able to see it. But right now, it looks like nobody is actually here right now. Actually, if you look at the YouTube Studio stats, I'll actually pull it up in a moment. You'll actually see that it's a lot of images. Clear out these sometime. As you see that people are actually really piling up at the evening section, and it's probably even more popular in the evenings than in the mornings. So maybe next time I'll just switch back to 10 p.m. my time, which is like 14 UTC, and just keep it fair. Now, other videos your audience watch, I can actually see this, which is really weird privacy-wise, why? But yeah. This is what I can see, and you guys love a lot of Swiss 001. I tried to do some Swiss 001 videos before, the Mount Everest video that's inspired by this kind of challenge, but it doesn't perform as well, so back to FlightGear tutorials, I guess. Hi, Lyndon. Nice to see you here. Right, so let's go back to the script. We're going to plan a flight from VTSH, which is Songkhla, to VTSS, which is Songkhla-Haiyai. I have a couple of websites pulled up here. First of all, let's take a look at SkyVector, so we can see a rough map of where we're going. SkyVector is really, a really famous website. Now, they don't have the VFR chart for Thailand. The chart situation is Thailand is not as good as it could be. And VTSS over here, you can also use a search bar, but I know where this is. This is my country. Yeah. So, Haiyai is here, and Songkhla, VTSS is here. I might miss some messages here. It looks like it cleared my message list whenever I pulled it out, which is bad. Because I really see the live log. So, yeah. This one. Yeah, here we can kind of take a look at features like roads and all of that kind of stuff, which we might be able to use as a reference of flying. At first, I thought there was an ocean here, but turns out it was a tile boundary, so we can't actually use that. Now, the route we took the last time, which looks kind of like this, it follows the coastal wall and turns in and goes all the mountains. This would actually be pretty hard to think. Kind of almost have to dead wreck and aim for this spot here and turn in the direction and hope you hit it. A little bit of rail you can use as a reference. In talking about charts, there's actually another website called hebels.nl. And the thing about this website is actually provided by a fellow pilot many years ago, and this is one of the most updated actual VFR charts for Thailand you can find without actually having to go to a pellet supply store or buying them. Not exactly the best idea. So Songkhla. So here you can see a lot more detail in the charts that's available here. There's actually an image map here apparently. Kind of want to zoom in. Right. Songkhla is here and Songkhla-Haiyai is here. And you can see this thing is kind of aligned against the coast. Here's that hump that's all about. Grüß Gott, liebe Leute. Hello. So one strategy we can use is, heading straight here and following this, and you're turning west, following this road and dropping down here. Oh, we could have followed this road into the circling approach. I don't have OSM2 CD for this area, so this is going to be hard. Now let's go to the third tool we can use, which is to start a FlightGear in the UFO and just try to fly around. Updated 20.3.4. Ooh, that's actually nice of them to remind me of that. That's a lot of quality of life updates. Still, I don't have the latest patches in because I do have to wait for the PPA to bring it to me. I can install an app image, and I do have a FG data directory available that uses the app image, but it's still not a good thing. So this is VTSH, I think, Songkhla-Haiyai. Is where we're going to Songkhla, which is where we're going to start. Office cool. Yeah, so using the UFO is kind of cheating because let me check a bit. It's kind of cheating because you actually can't do this in real life. Take a it's equivalent of taking one flight with your instructor before flying yourself. Not exactly what you can do always, but yeah. So we're at runway 13, which is going a little bit down. So yeah, this is the right direction. Let's try to find that hump, shall we? See if it's visible. So we're going to do this route A. I generally use the HUD when it's the UFO because it's so hard to parse otherwise. Kann man dann Stream noch später anschauen? Ja, man kann jeder Stream noch später anschauen. Äh, in the same URL, it will be archived. There was like one stream where I didn't do this because I wanted to, keep the replay clean. But at this point, at this point, all streams will just be kept as is, and you can replay it right there. So I think this is the hump right here. So because we're now at the hump, we're gonna turn right over to 180. No, sorry, we'll turn right over to 270 and try to look for that road. Which is right there. Now we'd have to have that road in sight. Now we should look for the runway. Gotta be there? No, it's not there. Okay, one of the advantages of using the UFO, let's switch the radio off for now, is that you can look at the map and see where the airport actually is. It's actually a little bit to the left of this road. Yeah, that's not a good reference to use. Also, yeah, the mountains in here are definitely underplayed in the official charts. I would have to take care of these. Actually, let's use the map to find the airport for now, and go on from there. Just keep going. Oh, so that's why they aren't that careful about the mountains. Is that the airport? Let's keep the map on. That's not the airport. Sometimes to keep the map on like this. Yeah, I've got to do. I think I've got to find the airport on the sim. Oh, there's no airport keep. That's why I can't find it. This is going to be hard. To find some kind of thing that I can follow down. Yeah, let's actually do a reverse iOS. Reverse on the iOS and see what we can spot down here. Yeah, generally, I kind of want to have some place to look to without having to dead reckon. My goodness, this is like really difficult. Yeah, it looks like the best we can do is like dead reckoning to 270 from there. Let's actually go back to the hum and try that for this route. There seems to be another route which involves going in this way. Hugging hugging the mountains a little bit, which may be easier to do. So yeah, this is actually the hardest plan I have to make in a pretty long time. Here he comes on. Let's try to turn to 270. And follow the line. These mountains are kind of low, which is why I don't really want to do this. Oh yeah, it's over like over there. Thought it's like a little bit further away. Let's actually go back to around this point where we see the city. See where we're gonna spot the airport. It's nearly like unspotable. Kind of have to notice that this gray patch right here is the airport. I think that's like a good idea. Plan B. We're going to start right around here and I don't know, hug the mountains all the way from Suratani, which will bring us all the way around here. Around here. Hopefully a little bit closer to identifying the airport than the other route. We're probably making this one of the most uninteresting streams. Sometimes you have to like do some detective work like this. A trip back to Songkhla will be a bit. Really? Oh, whoop. Where is the airport? There we go. You're right around the edge of the city area. The way back will be a lot easier. Just head west until you hit the coast, and then turn left and wait. Yeah, so the strat in general is hug the mountains in this case. Yeah, I'm really cheating a little bit here because you wouldn't be able to like do a trip in advance with your instructor in a pilot seat before you have to do the real thing. But it seems to work a lot better. I think it's easier to identify the actual airport there. Then you. Hopefully that's the airport. That doesn't look like it. You turn out to around here and you just turn left to 270. Almost. Yeah, that's too far. The airport is like nowhere to be seen. That's too far. And the airport is actually like over there. So I think this route is might work, but we have to be a lot more congruent in determining where the airport is. Right here, it's right at the edge of the big forest. This big hump of stuff. No, this hump forest wouldn't exist in real life, but since when does that matter? Let's actually fly over the hump for one moment. I really need to start looking out the window. Yeah, so let's fly. Let's fly over the hump and see what we will see from there. City. The airport is a little bit to the left. Yeah, if you yeah, if you don't see the airport by the time you reach the hump, I guess it's not gonna work very well. So yeah, I think this strategy is going to work. Let's move on to some vertical planning. First of all, our Cessna actually can I generally ascend and descend the Cessna at 500 feet per minute. Let's see how much distance we have here at a little bit from the hump. Let's back up a little bit. Yeah, let's say from around here. How much distance do we have? Find this out. Let's go to the route manager. Try to put these guys in. Activate and hop to here. It's 5 miles out. So right now we're 5 miles out. And generally, the plane actually ascends and descends at around 500 feet per minute, and I would generally be using a speed of somewhere around 60 or 100 knots. So 5 miles, let's do some random calculations. So 5 miles at 100 knots would mean that I take somewhere around 0.002 hours to do this. Really? Yeah, it's 0.5, I forgot. Basic math. And let's see how many minutes that is. 3 minutes in that point, we can actually descend by 150,000 feet. So once we're over the hump, we actually have to be like at, because we're at 5 miles out, we actually have to be at 15,000 feet. Or thereabouts. So about this high. Concerning we're just out of the mountains. But I guess it works well. So on the ascent case, let's do some things over the so ascent case, let's measure some things over the mountain for a little bit. Because that's going to be our main concern. We don't want to hit the mountain. And let's just say we'll leave about 1,000 feet above. How high do we have to go? I think we have more than enough distance to descend to 1,500 at that time. So let's see how high this place is and how high would we have to go like maximum. I thought you were gonna do flight planning of UFO. Actually, kind of. I'm actually planning to do this with the C172P, of course. But I'm using the UFO because I don't want to be dealing with the flight dynamics at this point. Obviously. So if we're doing 1,000 above, we're going to look at something like, let's say 20,000 feet. That means we need just a little bit more time. And just for fun, just to see if we actually have enough distance to do this ascent, 20,000 feet divided by 500 feet per minute means we do 4 minutes. And you multiply, let's just say 80 knots by 4 minutes. We need about 5 miles to do this, which is not too few. Let's just jump to this and measure this since we have like 15 miles to do this, so we're safe. So let's do a last try of actually flying this route from the other airport and see if it actually works this way. We're not going to fly over the mountain. It's definite. I'm just doing that just to get a worst case scenario figure. If you're around, stick around because we're going to do this flight for real on a C172P again. This again not going to be that difficult because I've essentially already practiced this route like twice, but you never know. Sometimes weird things happen. So again, for the people who just are just coming in, a review of why we're doing this. I am trying to establish a flight path that I can use in the C172P to fly between these two airport pairs. However, I don't know. However, let's just say that the charts I have are kind of less than spectacular for the job, so I'm just flying around in the UFO to find features that I can use to route myself. And I'm actually trying to be as realistic as possible here, aside from the weird speed, which is way faster than Aerial 172 can hope to accomplish. Is that the thing forest hump already? Shouldn't be. That kind of problem is what what I would have to solve here. I can't identify the forest hump from here. That I was planning to use. Thanks at airport. No. Yeah, it's definitely the forest hump. Yup. Turns out that's it. That is the forest hump right after we go through the mountain. So in FlightGear, this is definitely the best route to take. So I calculated that slope is what, like 100 knots, which is a little bit too much. I'm descend at 50. But so far so good. Oh, approach is going to be fun. So now that we've successfully done that, time to switch over to the Cessna 172P and see if it works. Yeah, as you can see, not a lot of people are talking around. So let's go. We're on runway 13. Weather seems to be going well. And it's time to roll. New takeoff. There we go. Here we go. I'm going to go straight on runway heading for a bit to clear the trees and then time to turn right and start following the route. Oh, this plane accelerates really well as usual. I mean, I'm at like 90 knots, I don't know, and I'm ascending at way faster than I could ever imagine. Start following the route. Step on the ball a bit. Wait, what? What's going on? Oh, rudder's not uncentered. Yep, I'm actually flying with auto coordination off again. Uh, so according to the plan, I'm going to be at this until like 20,000 feet, and then I'll level off. And as you can see, it says I can easily make 2,000 feet within like this time frame. It's not a big distance for it at all. Next task is to find a forest hump, which I think is over there. Either over there, or it's gonna be like right in front of me. Which it isn't. I'm trying to steer over there. And we're already at 20,000 feet, so let's calm down our engines. Let's see if we can find it. We're at 120 knots right now. About normal to me. Also, we're actually supposed to be there at like 15,000, so let's descend. And 100 knots. And start descending a little bit. Yeah, I didn't notice it's going to be a short hop. Anyway, let's just make sure that the airport isn't like to our right or something. It isn't? Cool. Pretty good so far. I think that's the hump. If that's not the hump, we really feel really bad with myself. Yeah, this is actually looking really good. Let's level off and reduce the throttle a little bit. And so when we get below 100, I'm going to pull flaps 1 because we're going to be like 5 miles out. Or I would if I actually can see the airport from here, which I can't. Here's the airport. I mean, this one's supposed to be like all the way up here. Did I go to the wrong hump? I've accidentally driven a route. Might have been in the wrong hump. It isn't that small, I can tell. So, whoops. Yeah, it's like to my right. Wait, what? Oh, there's the hump. Didn't notice the other one. Yep, so let's speed up again. I'm not even using a real life feature and I'm failing already. Yeah, this is why you generally have to use plan a lot because because in real life you actually can't afford to like pull out a map like this. Except maybe if you have like a moving map in your plane, then maybe you can do the equivalent of pulling up Google Maps when you're on a road trip, but that's it. So yeah, 3 people watching now, and then turns out that I actually accidentally dropped down to. I thought I was at my approach point already, but well, I actually wasn't. It's time to speed up to 120 again. Just double check for a little bit that I'm actually on course. Yeah, this is fun. But then again, the flight seems to be actually be pretty stable right now. I'm really happy with how it's looking. I think that's the airport over there. It shouldn't be, but fine. Okay, so I think it's time to start thinking about ascending again. Yep. Hopefully we can find the airport in all this. This is actually the hardest thing kind of I've done in a while. So I turn to the right, am I correct? Actually, the right. Why would it be on the right? This is so confusing. So many questions. Ah, there we go. Somehow it appeared over there. Yeah, I really need to like memorize the map so that I can do this more efficiently. Anyway, now that we have the airport in sight, it can be a lot more smooth with everything. And also reduce to 60 knots because we're that close already. This is actually looking pretty good, although I can't tell for now. Yeah, this I kind of have to learn a little bit more until we can actually do this by ourselves without looking at the map once. At first, I thought this is going to be pretty smooth. Turns out this is way more complicated and a total failure. What runway's over there? I nearly on taxiway Charlie. Maybe not Charlie, but you know, there's a couple there's a person who landed on taxiway Charlie at Canada because they confused it with the runway next to it that was closed. I nearly did the same mistake just there. Cut the power a little bit. I'm actually a little bit fast. Uh, 46 minutes late. Hello, Hornet. Yeah, it's not too late. You just came in time for the landing. Like, right on time. I don't think it was. Oh, maybe San Francisco? I don't know. Harrison Ford, I think. Or someone like that. It's definitely not an airline pilot. Oh, that was one case where Taxiway Charlie was landed on. I think the other one was Air Canada. Air Canada and SFO doesn't seem to have the best track record. I mean, like 2 incidents already. And what was the other one? They didn't heed the go around calls of the ATC, the other one. And the ATC had to quickly clear the runway for them, and they had to file an incident report. Dominating the chat! Because you're the only one who's left watching me. And the most who's typed by far in the stream so far. It's like a win because somehow I'm being blown to the side here. And approaching way too fast. Yup. Should he go around? No. We still have a long rank. Nearly had to go around there. Oh, there's definitely wind. There's definitely wind. Yep. Go around if you can't, guys. Oh, that's going to be the result. And your passengers are going to phone you about how rough the landing that was. Yeah, there's definitely wind. I kind of semi-noticed it back when on approach, but I didn't know it was that strong. Need to look at the windsock on the approach next time. Didn't miss the turnout. Go in the dirt a little bit. I saw a lot of wind. It was the butteriest wind is really annoying. Yeah. I don't generally do a lot of training in high wind situations so far, so I didn't. So I noticed that I was being blown to one side on approach, so I corrected for that. But I didn't really like comment realize that it was there until into that point when I was trying to lining up and I saw that I was definitely being blown. Wind is annoying and. This is definitely a butter landing from Ryanair. At least we didn't like pancake on the ground or anything. At least it was a yellow, what is it, orange text instead of red text on the landing rate add-on there. So yeah, the safety ride. More like TV Ryanair. I'm not sure what TV Ryanair is because there's a joke that Ryanair is really bad with their stuff. Yeah, with the help of I don't know a bunch of moving maps, we have successfully come here to Songkhla-Haiyai without any ATC. Just gonna tie this around right in front of the taxiway and annoy a bunch of people. Ryanair. Right. Oh, I forgot to pull the flaps up. Whoops. I guess this means that that's what they call Ryanair, okay? I guess. Right. So I totally needed some help from the map before I can get here. Because it turns out there aren't a lot of features that I can use to navigate here, and the airport is really hard to notice. So among the features I found, it actually doesn't work that. It actually doesn't work that well completely. It almost trashed the flight. I had to look at the map to find where it actually is. Right. Any more things before we go for this morning? Right, I think we'll end the stream right here with a CSS C172P parked and tied down on the taxiway. After being flown over here with the help of a map and some of the features we found along the way. Turns out this isn't as successful as I thought. I thought we could like find a couple of ways to get here using, the mountains alone and maybe some roads, but I couldn't find any. And I actually had to use the map to get here on a demo flight because I misread a feature and totally didn't use a map in my head. So, that would be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, Dora Kitty, and I think we'll see you again in 2 weeks, but I'm actually not sure about this time. I'm getting pretty busy with some life stuff at the moment, and I might have to skip the stream for the next 2 weeks and come back next month. Just pop in to say keep up with the good work for bringing FlightGear to people from Noble and Savage. One day I'll be able to justify getting some hardware controls and get into it myself. I actually use the mouse always. I've been trying to get back into my joystick, and let's just say that the dead zones have weakened a little bit from age, and it makes me wobble around a lot. Hopefully can turn down the rudder sensitivity and get back to flying with the joystick again. Right, so see you again in 2 weeks if things go to plan.